Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Life Happens podcast. I am your host, Grace, y'all. This topic. But before I get into the topic, as you know, the Grace Experience. Oh my gosh, I'm confusing my other show. The Life Happens podcast is a podcast where we combine spirituality with everyday things to create this beautiful balance. Um, as you know, Kim has been on vacation, so she hasn't been here. Hey,
Okay.
Kim.
Hello. I was in a meeting last week, so I could not attend, but I'm happy to be here today.
And she won't be here next week, y'all. But that's another story.
Yeah, I have youth
Hi.
camp. I have to enrich the minds of the youth of America.
Okay. And abandon me. Hi, Brian. We
Hola.
have Brian again, guys. He has been an amazing addition to us. Am I lagging? Because it seems like I'm lagging.
You are.
Yeah, you are.
Oh gosh, I don't know what's going on. Um,
Okay, now
am I good now?
Yeah.
you're good now.
Okay. This topic it's really interesting to me because hi Ben, you would think like people in our age group, right?
Hmm.
They would maybe know what they want, right, in relationships, and I like
Yeah.
the topic because mixed signals could be in friendships as well. Doesn't really mean romantic relationships, right? So Kim, I want to start with. Well, now let's start with Brian. Brian, to you, what is mixed signals in a relationship? How would you define it in a friendship, relationship,
In a
etc.?
in a friendship or relationship.
Yeah, because it affects the basis of a relationship, right?
Yeah.
How
I
would
mean,
you?
it's just when there's an uh, alternate agenda, some type of deceptive motive behind what a person says. It's always abstract, never concrete. It's never solid. There's always some, well, may I, question marks all in what someone says. Even some inconsistency, which is one of the big signs of mixed signals. So yeah, it can ruin anything, any type of ship, relationship, friendship, whatever.
Well, you said something. You said deception. What if
Mhm.
the person just doesn't know what they want? Maybe they're not being deceptive. Maybe they do feel a certain way, and then at 50 years old, you don't know what the hell you want. Another story, right? I'm just saying 50, but what if it's just not deception? What if they truly don't know what they want?
Well, then anything that's not clarified, and you know what you want to say, even if it's I don't know what I want, right? So sometimes sometimes the best answer to a question is I don't know, but let's find out together, right? Instead
Right.
of trying to make up a reason or some bull crap or whatever. So in what you're saying is if someone doesn't know what they want, well then let's clarify and communicate that. So just say, hey, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I'm doing at this moment. Da 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 da. So there's once again, everything's clear. There's no alternative motive. There's no deception, even to the person that's talking, because people could deceive their own selves with uncertainty. So just say that, and then let the other person decide if they want to stick around or not.
That's true. What about you, Kim? What is your thoughts?
Mixed signals in a relationship. Sometimes I think mixed signals is just misunderstanding. It's just I misunderstood what. Okay, it's like a boy and a girl who are in a relationship, and
Hi,
maybe
Keisha.
hello, Miss Walker. Maybe they just misunderstood what the relationship was because sometimes when a guy and a girl are in a relationship, sometimes their heart will lean a certain way toward a guy, and then sometimes it it will lean the other way. And the other person's, I don't know if I'm making sense. Okay, so a boy and a girl in a relationship, right? They're best friends, they're just
Hi,
friends.
Brian.
One heart will start to lean that way toward, I want something more romantic. I'm hoping that this turns into something else. And the other person's like, cool, we just friends. I like being your friend. I like having a best friend. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's like Brian said, it's the whole communication. It's whole communication, having that talk. Sometimes people just go with the flow. You know, I just ride with the flow. I
Now,
just go with the flow. And sometimes communication needs to be at the forefront of a relationship, I think.
I agree. My stance on that is if words and actions don't add up or match, then I ask questions. And then if the gap continues, then I'm just gonna take my ass and move along. Because at this age, I mean, mixed signals, well, we teenagers, you know, Brian said deceptive, the word deceptive, and I'm thinking about it as, a lot of times I think, and I don't want to bash men, okay? A lot of times a man will keep a woman around trying to figure out what he wants, right? And because women are emotional, like, let me say this, I was reading something, or was I watching a video? They were talking about women cannot be friends with benefits because the way a woman's body is made up with the oxytocin. So when a woman has sex, oxytocin is released and she bonds to the man because sex is for procreation, blah, blah, blah. But a man, he can sow his seed anywhere and he does not, get attached. And I think with the mixed signal thing, I think women get attached because, most of us are sapiosexuals. Well, I don't say most of us because some are not, but if a man gets in your head, then, that's it for most of us, really. So I think it needs to be clear what the heck everybody wants. Now, this scenario that we're going to read tonight, I thought it was kind of interesting. Have you guys went over it? Have you read it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he actually made me mad. I get mad when I read. You know what? I get fully engaged in this shit. I get angry because I'm like, it's so obvious to me because it's not my situation, right? It's
Yeah. You be screaming at it.
Let me put my glasses on because I'm gonna read this today, and you're gonna understand me. Okay.
But I don't think something that you said, you're like, we're not teenagers. Why do we have mixed signals in a relationship? I don't think age is something that it's like, oh, when I reach a certain age of maturity, then I should know what I want. I don't think it has to do anything with age. I don't think people sometimes don't know what they want at 50. You can meet a guy, he's 50 years old. He hadn't figured it out yet. Or
And that's
60
sad.
and haven't figured it out yet. But that's okay though,
How is it okay at 50 years old? What the
because
hell have you been doing the first half of your life?
he's living life. I'm just saying, I think that's okay that you don't have it all figured out by 50 or 60. Because
No,
everything's ever changing. You're ever changing. No one stays the same. So the thing you wanted to do or be at 18 could morph into something else when you're 60 or even
completely
70
agree
years
with that.
old.
Completely agree with that statement, right? But you should have some type of foundation already set. Yes, there has to be room for change because as you get older, you evolve. But if you acting like you 25, I mean, come on now. Like, what if you do? What if you that 50-year-old that doesn't know what you want? You've been married 2 or 3 times and you still getting the shit wrong, baby. Bye. I couldn't. I'm sorry, not at that age. At this point now, I mean, damn, this is the second half of your life. And yes, am I being judgy? Maybe so. But this is the second half of your life. And if you don't know what you want, then you better figure the shit out real quick. And that's
Or
not
just,
just in
or
relationship.
just tell them I don't know.
Thank
Just
you.
just clear. So it's not, the old saying is communication is key. That's
Right.
not true. That's not true. Communication is not key. Communication is vital. Comprehension is key because we can communicate all day, and like Kim said, if we misunderstand each other, then the communication's all for naught. You have to be able to comprehend the person that is trying to communicate in order to get clarity on whatever they're trying to communicate. So comprehension is key. Communication is vital. And of course, trust is the lock that holds it all together. But regardless, in this particular situation, it doesn't matter what age and it doesn't matter where a person is. Just clarify and
Right.
tell the truth.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if you're a 35-year-old person that has
Hmm.
no clue where they want to be, well then tell the person that you're interested in or talking to or dating or whatever. Say, look, at this point in my life, I'm not sure about anything. But if you're a
Yes.
person who's 40 years old that wants to get married and have kids, or have more kids or not have kids, but then whoever you're meeting, you need to tell them, look,
Right.
I
Hi, CJ. He says, "What's good, my black queens and one black
Hey,
king?"
CJ.
Okay, so Brian is frozen.
it's just about clarity. That's all it.
You freezing, Brian? Let me send
I
you.
agree, though. I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, I think communication is key and being honest and taking the risk of hurting people's feelings because in the long run you'll actually help them versus, you thinking you're hurting their feelings. Because you're not. You do me a favor by being honest with me. Because at that point I can decide what the hell I'm gonna do with you. Either I'm gonna deal with you or not. But you're giving me that opportunity to make that decision. And I'm grateful when people are honest with me. I was about to text you because you
Everybody can't be, I mean, some people like truth. Some people don't like truth. They don't want to hear the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, maybe I don't understand why somebody wouldn't want. I mean, do you want your time wasted? I mean, you got all the time in the world to get your time wasted
I
because you
don't
see,
know.
but
I
you
think
see, there
that
could be Bobby out there that's waiting for you, Kim, but you dealing with Joe that ain't okay because he doesn't know what he wants. No, give Bobby a chance, Joe. I need you to move. God.
But some people worry about perception. That's why they don't want the truth. Just take someone who is supposedly this righteous, upright person, but they are lusting after a no good somebody, and they don't want that truth. If the no good somebody wants to come up to them and says, "Hey, all I want from you is sex," and that's all it is to it, they want the same thing, but they're not going to admit it, right? They're not going to say, "Well, yeah, I want that truth." No, they're going to go, "Oh, no, let's talk about something. Let's reframe it and restructure it so it doesn't mess up my image and the perception of who I am, the perception that people think I am. Because if I'm seen with you, we can't just, it's people do that. People don't want truth. They especially for the outward part of it.
I agree. They do not want truth. Some people can't handle it, though.
They can't handle it.
No.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Dear Grace, dear Kim, this is the context. Boyfriend and I have been they're reaching the 2 year mark. That's what I've. And been in a stage for a while now where we realize our long term goals do not align. I want marriage and babies. He doesn't. We are pretty set and probably will not change our minds. We know that the relationship is doomed and will end, whether that will be today or in 6 months. Yesterday, we got talking on Messenger. I'm probably going to work in another country for 6 months next winter. So basically, she's going to a different country for work for 6 months, like next year. Where am I?
He is worried about that.
He's worried about that and how it would affect our relationship, although he also supports me going. He made a point that we are getting close to the 2 year mark. And how will we be separated most of the summer because we are both going on our individual trips and our families? Then it got late and we talked about my sexual fantasies. I'm pretty close about them, so texting helped me open up. This is what he said. She says now. So, what do you think about all that? Him, I think it's a shame we communicate better over text. I hope we can get to this level of openness in real life. And I really love you, and I'm scared. I hope we can get to stay together. He's full of shit. Anyway, my question is, why did he say that out of the blue? Also, why would he say he hopes we get to stay together when he knows we won't? We literally established it a few weeks ago when we talked about this for the third time ever. He told me we shouldn't hope on the 1% chance we change our minds and that we can enjoy what we have for now. What should I do? What should she do, Brian? What should she do?
She said what she should do. She literally said, also, why would he say hopes? Would he say hopes we get to stay together when he knows we won't? So let's scroll up back to the beginning. So that's the end. Let's scroll back to the beginning. She said we are pretty set and probably won't change our mind. We know that the relationship is doomed and will end.
I care.
So That's the end of the scenario. Everything in between is a whole bunch of fluff. She knows exactly what she wants to do, and you're calling him bullshit. She's the same way.
How?
She's staying. Yeah, he's bullshitting. Don't get me wrong, but she is too, because she knows it's going to end, but she is still trying to flirt with the idea of staying together, talking about sexual fantasies for some reason. But yet she's once again misleading on, hey, we know we're gonna end, we know we're gonna end up not together, but let's still flirt with the idea of trying to make it work. And in between, let's talk about a whole bunch of sex stuff too. So she's just as much full of bullshit as he is. But what should she do? She said twice what she should do, and that's bounce, because she knows it's gonna end.
Right, but he said the same thing too, but now he's saying that he hopes they can stay together. Obviously,
True.
she has feelings for him, because that wouldn't, if she didn't have feelings, then she would stay to what she already said. But obviously, she's a woman. Now, come on now.
He's
Yeah,
trying to keep
she
her.
said
He's trying to
twice in
keep
this
her on the
scenario.
road for the next 6 months. That's it.
They're
Just
keeping each other on the road before she leaves.
before you leave, let's just stay let everything stay the status quo, right? Let's just stay. We'll just stay like we are. And then after,
But then
it's
he's,
over. We both know it's
but then
over.
he,
It's over. It's over for her. She know it's over.
Yeah, let's have a whole bunch of sex before you leave.
Exactly.
you just say, laughing my ass off, Buddy must be dropping that hammer. you know, it's more than that, because she's emotionally invested now. It's sex, like the oxytocin. It's like out there.
No,
I'm
it ain't
mad.
not for her. She's not if she's emotionally involved, that's not what's driving her. She literally said in the bookends that she knows it's not gonna work, and in the middle, the only thing that she talks about in this scenario is that some sexual fantasies. So she ain't locked in. If she's locked in emotionally, that doesn't mean it's the number one thing that's driving her. The number one thing that's driving her is the fact that, oh well, I need to get a whole bunch of sex before I go
I don't
to
see that.
to overseas. And if there's some way that we can fix it through this little physical interaction, then let's fix it. But we're probably not. Or if I can convince you, especially through these sexual fantasies, that we need to have kids, like I want to have kids, but you don't, then everything will be okay. And it may be one of those BS situations where she wants to stay with him, but he knows he doesn't want, but she knows he doesn't want kids. So she does what? Tries to make him do a couple of things inside of her while they're having sex. So she gets pregnant and she gets to keep
Oh
the man. She
goodness.
thinks the baby is going to
Damn,
keep the man.
damn.
Oh
Do you
wow.
not do
You
you not
went there,
know
didn't
people
you?
do? Do you not know people do that? If there
No,
are
I
women,
know people do, but the scenario. I mean, okay. Let me say this. She says, "Why did he say this out the blue?" Which tells me that she really would rather stay together. They're not, because she seems conflicted. You don't see that?
She does seem conflicted. She does. And I think she wants someone to tell her, stay, work it out, do whatever you can. 6 months, that's nothing.
I
Keep
mean,
your man,
look,
girl. Keep
Brian,
your man.
we not men, okay? She seems conflicted to me, because she said she's asking the question, why would he say that out the blue? So it sounds like this is the first time he actually said that he loves her, that he's scared that they'll break up. So then why would she be conflicted? Let me read this comment. It's one thing to want to stay together and know that you can't stay together, just be an adult and tell the truth. Have some fun and be done. I agree. I mean, if that's what, you know.
but I'm not sure that she's conflicted about him saying that he loves her. I think the confliction, I read this as the confliction as he's going, it's a shame we communicate better over text. And I
Mhm.
hope we can get to this level of openness in real life. I think if they've been together for 2 years, I think they've said more than once that they love each other.
True. You're
She's
right.
she's shocked at the fact that he's going at the fact that he's saying we communicate better over text, not that he loves her. That's where she's shocked at. He's like, why would he say that we communicate over text and hope we are open in real life out of the blue? That's what she's shocked about. She's not shocked that he loves her.
Mm.
Hmm.
I don't know. But it is interesting what you said though, that they're being together for 2 years and then to make the statement we communicate better over text. So what have you been doing?
I
I think
know.
they've been avoiding the conversation. I
I
think
think
they
so
have been.
too.
I think they have
I
said
agree.
she said what she wants to say. I want to get married and have kids. And then he says what he wants to say. Well, no, I think we should wait, and I don't want to have kids right now. And then they both are done with it at that. As soon as they say anything about that, it's done. There's no communication. There's no further in-depth talks about it,
I
and
didn't.
it's done. Well, then they don't have any clarity on it, and they just keep running from it. So I think that's a part of it. So when he brings it up that, hey, we communicate better over text, she's like, damn, why would you say that? Like, because he may feel like it's true.
Well, maybe she's waiting for him to say, hey, it's over. Okay, let me read some comments. CJ says either she's young or she's an older lady with the young girl's mentality. Hey, either or, it could be. Because these old broads nowadays, you just. Mm. Ivan says this shit is over and been over. They're wasting your time and hours. Shaking my head. I mean, wow. So in this case, Kim, if this was you, what would you do?
Um, I would probably end the relationship. I would end it. I wouldn't let it lag on for 6 months, getting deeper in or whatever. She's been with this guy for so long, and I would be like, okay, because I've done that before. Okay, this relationship, this is where I see the relationship going. Do you see the relationship going this way? He said, no, I do not see the relationship going that way. I'm like, okay, well, today this ends
Wow.
because we both are wanting two separate things. And so, since we both are not headed toward marriage, and you say you're not ready for marriage, I say I am. And so, we need to separate. So, this relationship after 2 years is over.
Yeah,
And
And
what
that's
you
and that's hard to do. That's a hard thing to do, but you have to come to the reality because I can't. You can't live in La La Land. How long can you live in La La Land? Really?
you
Come on,
can't.
come on. How long?
No, not even. No.
And she's in La La Land. She's in La La Land, and she wants to stay in La La Land, and she wants someone to tell her it's okay to stay in La La Land for the next 6 months.
But he's in La La Land too.
yeah, but let's
Is
go
he?
to
I think the brother wants to cut and run.
let's go to another really good part of this. In
What?
the right before the question, she says, "Then it got pretty late, and we talked about my sexual fantasies. I am pretty closed about them, so texting helped me open up." And this is what he said. So she opened up about her sexual fantasies through text, and he
Mhm.
responded, "It's a shame that we communicate better over text." But he was basically saying, it's a shame that you open up over text, and we don't talk about this when we're together. We don't talk about your sexual fantasies. We may not talk about sex. We may not talk. We run from all of these issues. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Mhm.
what he's surprised. That's what she's surprised about. Oh, why would he say that we communicate because I opened up about sex over text instead of talking? That this whole sex part that she threw out there, then
I
opened up.
know.
He's shocked. He's like, wait a second. You talk about some freaky stuff over text, but you won't
Wait,
talk about it in
But you
real
talk
life?
about it in person. Come
wait. Do
on.
you think that's a trap? She's trying to trap him with that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Brian. I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah. Now that you said
It
it.
is a pure trap. That's why I said, you know, scenario. She's as much of a bullshitter as he is.
Okay. Yeah. You're
She's
right.
using sex. She's using sex in other whatever ways she is, but it's sex in this scenario clearly to possibly try to trap him. If she can, there are so many women out there who have tried to trap a man. Let's just say in a crazier scenario, a man is with multiple women. There will be a woman out there to going, well, if he has my baby, he'll stay with me.
That's a
Right.
lie.
Right. That's a lie, but women
Yeah.
think that way. You know what I'm saying? So she is, I would be willing to bet that she's going, well, yeah, I want kids. He doesn't. But if he has a kid with me, then we'll stay together. And he ain't got no choice now because he got a kid. Da, da, da. Is that she is as much as bullshitting as he is. He was surprised that she opened up like that because she's never talked like that face to face.
And he's
I need
like,
to read this comment.
yeah, I
Let me
got
read
you
some
for the
comments
next one.
because this is a good comment.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not seeing
yeah, he's
your
playing
comments
her
is
too.
good, but why is she still letting him hit even when he tell you the intentions? But this comment that Ivan said is it's good. He says she's delusional. How in the hell do you start talking about sex after that type of conversation? That's true because you're trying to trap him. And you're right, Brian. That's a trap. That's just like she's basically offering up what she's never offered up before. So who knows what she could have said, and hoping he would stay longer. This could continue longer, and maybe if he sees it this way, then he'll change his mind about her. And oh, woman, you make us look crazy.
Yeah, you were trying to turn a man up and down at the very beginning, and she just as crazy as he is, or more.
It's the Jesus juice that did that to me. What can I say? Um, just saying. So my question is this now, like, why do you think people are so uncomfortable sharing their truths? What is it about these types of situations where people have a hard time really expressing what they really want? Why is it so
Hmm.
easy to like, it's like, you know, it's not going anywhere and you know it's bullshit, but you allow yourself to do that. Why do you think people do that?
Because no one wants to be lonely. No one wants to be
But it's
alone.
built on fucking sand.
That's okay. They're okay with singing as long as they're not alone. You do have strong people out there who's like, I'm not settling. But some people they do settle because the,
I
the
guess
loneliness is too much for them. So they'll settle.
I guess you have to be in a really bad relationship to understand that, just truth is the way to go, honestly. I don't, you'd rather hurt somebody's feelings. You'd rather get your feelings hurt and get over it than live a lie. Can you imagine at this age? And then 2 years from now, when you what? Almost damn 60. You know what I'm saying? Then you break up. So Brian said something really interesting, which I agree with him. He said fear of rejection.
Oh
You
Fear.
yeah.
know, I've noticed though, like that's a big one. And abandonment. I noticed that in a lot of people. And it's people you wouldn't expect. And it's the little things, the littlest things that can trigger those rejection wounds to
Yeah,
reopen.
there's a lot of things that can contribute someone staying in bullcrap, but fear is, and I've said this before, fear is either going to make you run or it's going to freeze you. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, a lot of people who lack self love, it freezes them, right? So what happens is they start putting they start putting the weights on the scale. So if this side of the scale says, okay, if I leave this situation, I'm going to end up by myself for an X amount of time, and I don't know when that's going to end. So I'm afraid to be by myself. Well, then that's going to bring some stress. I'm not with someone. Then that's going to bring some depression, possibly. Then I'm going to try to figure out why I wasn't good enough, or why it didn't work. Where did I fail? There's a whole bunch of questions on this side that's scary, and fear is going, and I fear what's on this side. But at the same time, they're going, well, I'm scared in this relationship I'm with. It's sinking sand. It's bullshit. But at least if I'm going to be afraid, I'm going to be afraid with somebody. I'm not going to be lonely and afraid. I'm going to be with somebody. So I'd rather go through the anxiety, the fear, the lack of self. I'd rather go through all the bullshit with somebody than go through that stuff by myself, because by myself is a lot scarier, and people stay in relationships because they fear being by themselves. They fear it. It's incredibly scary for them, and especially if they don't have self-love. Like, I think all three of us are in a spot where we wouldn't put up with the BS because our self-love is at a point to where we're not, where the love is, since love is intelligent, our self-love is at a point where we can logically work it out and go, nah, you're BS, so you can dip. But
Right.
other people who don't have that level of self-love, they start compromising with themselves for various reasons. So a lot of people actually compromise to stay in BS.
Yeah, Keisha says women have had a hard time expressing what they want because men don't like rejection. Us women are always honest and upfront. These men today are way too sensitive now. Mm. And then she says, see what I mean? You hear Brian over there asking all them questions about what he did wrong. I'd be like, bruh, grow up here. I'm snorting.
No,
Uh,
I wasn't saying what I did wrong. I was just saying a person who stays in the scenario in the scenario ask themselves all of those questions, and mostly women are the ones who start saying if a relationship fails, it's mostly the woman who says, why did it fail? What did I do wrong? What mistakes did I make? It's mostly women. So no, that wasn't me at all saying that. Hell, if something I'm not going to stay in no sinking sand relationship. I'm burning out way before it happens. So
you've always
I
said
mean, but she is, in one aspect she's right. There are a lot of men who are sensitive out there, and she's possibly coming from a scenario where, let's just say, a dude is in her inbox and tries to get her number or tries to holler at her, and she rejects him, right? And she says, "Nah, you know what I'm saying? I don't." And Robbie, you can attest to this. No, I don't want to talk to you or whatever. You reject him. So he immediately goes from, hey, beautiful, to, oh, you a stuck up bitch, and starts calling you all types of names, and you think you all that, you think you perfect, da 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 whoop whoop. He goes from a compliment to completely sensitive and completely in his feelings, and starts disrespecting the woman just because he rejected her. So, that's men are sensitive in that aspect.
Keisha said, use a lie, Brian. But basically, I guess
I
you say men are overly sensitive. I don't know.
don't know.
CJ
I think
says,
men are sensitive, and I think
true.
men don't. It's like men are not taking on the
Oh, wait. Keisha says, I recant my use a lie statement, Brian. Yes.
women.
I
I
love
mean, men
Keisha.
are not. What is it with men today that they are not pursuing women? It doesn't seem like men are really pursuing women. So I agree. I think they are afraid of rejection. They're afraid of getting their feelings hurt, so they don't even try. So it's like, oh well, I'll try, but
Because
ah.
I think
and
nowadays, from what I've seen, a lot of women act like men. On quite honestly, the way their mindsets is because they've been hurt, so
yeah,
they're taking on that approach, and I think that's why. And I also see a lot of women pursuing men actually more so now.
we found what?
When does that happen?
Understand that behavior. I'm glad I'm
What did
around.
you just say?
Say that again.
Say that what you just said.
Who, me?
No, Rabia.
What did I say? Which
No, I'm
part? Girl,
asking
I've
you
been
to
saying a lot
repeat
of
it.
shit. When I'm drinking Jesus juice, girl, hey,
You said women pursue men more.
I've seen a lot of it. I've
Yeah,
seen women playing a lot of games. And because I hear the conversations.
I mean, I men pursue women still. It's 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 just according to what
I
type of
don't.
man it's according to what type of man you're talking about. Like, men don't necessarily court women the way like it used to be, because a lot of the times it's not necessary. So, and what
I,
I
Okay,
Brian,
wait, what do you
I
mean it's
am
not
around
necessary?
20-year-old women a lot at my church. The young women, they're like, men just do not pursue. They do not do that.
well,
If
that
you
yeah,
are
that
the
younger
guy, you want to.
generation,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I can see that.
That's what I'm saying. Men today do not pursue.
Yeah, but if you're talking about 20s, they ain't men yet.
True. Let me
Yeah,
read some
yeah.
comments, guys. You're right. You're right with that. What you just, I can't even read. With what you just said, my bad, B.
Are you good, Keisha?
CJ said, kinda. I don't know what he's referring to at this point. It has passed me. Kev says, call me extreme with sensitive, but I'll be damned if I'm weak. I'm extremely confident, but I'm also considerate. I hear that. CJ says, LOL depends. Niggas today ain't got no riz. I don't know what that means. What does riz mean? I mean, what does that mean? Do you know what that means? No? Okay. Keisha said they don't pursue women because they don't want us to be soft and tender when we've already had to be strong for a long time. I see a lot of that too, though. That I see a lot of masculine energy in women, a lot. Women don't know how to turn that off. Not anymore because you have to be mother, father, all these different things. And sometimes they just don't know how to because they were raised by single mothers, you know? So there's a lot of that. It's a lot to do with that.
Okay, here's where men make the mistake, and I'm not talking about little boys. I'm talking about men. Here's where men make the mistake in pursuing women. Men generally, a lot of them, I'm not saying all of them, they will send a text to 25 different women. Hey, beautiful. They will
Oh,
go in
hey.
wait a second. Wait a second. They'll go in 25 different women's inbox. Good morning, beautiful. Right?
Yep.
And all it takes is one of those 25 women to respond. That's it. Some woman may respond to, hey, beautiful, knowing full well that she ain't the only one that received the text message or the inbox, right? So if that guy goes one of 25, that's not a low percentage in his mind because you know what? It
Yeah.
worked on one. So whatever happens with that one, he banks and he locks it in and then he goes to another 25 women, right? And then he does the same thing. And if he locks in one of 25, guess what? Now he's got two
That's
or
sad.
or
That
whatever.
is
So but so what
sad.
I'm saying is and I know Kim, you're married, so you probably got the game. You know, you're at the game right now. Robbie, you have experiences. You have experience, and I don't even know your inbox, but I'm telling you right now, you have experience. Different men, more than 10, more than 20, coming in your inbox, sending you, hey, beautiful, good morning, beautiful, great day to you, beautiful, grand rising, beautiful, right?
Oh,
And,
that's the
and, the,
worst.
and the reason why they're sending it to you is because it's worked before on somebody else. So the reason why men keep approaching women with that low amount of bull crap is because sooner or later a woman responds to it. So there's no requirement to get any better.
Hey, let me read some
Come
comments.
on, brothers, step up y'all
I
game.
mean,
Come
really.
on.
CJ says, Derek Wright, you ain't gonna do all that. Stand in front of our house with a damn jukebox.
Yeah.
Bare minimum effort, regardless nowadays. Trust me on that. I don't know what woman you talking to, CJ, but I believe you though. Speaks to text is horrible. I'm sensitive man, but extremely confident. That's all I'm trying to say. So basically, he's saying his last comment he did speak to text, you know, and
Oh,
some
yeah.
have an accent like me. CJ says, "Damn, so I'm a little boy." Are you saying he's a little boy? So Facebook user says, "LOL, I'm nervous to ever send one." Who's Facebook user?
Oh no.
Keisha says, "Brian, tell it. I always tell a dude that sends me that crap. How many women do you send this to before you sent it to me?" Hey, Keisha, she probably says a lot of stuff in when they text her because Keisha.
But see here's the other side of that. Women women have to, by the time some good man rolls around with women are have to get to that healing part. They've got to know that it's not all BS because women tend to say what they want and then end up getting what they've been getting regardless. Like there are a lot of women out here that say, "Oh, I don't want the bare minimum," or "I want a good man," or "da da da this," and "I want my man to." No. That's not necessarily what you want. You don't want a good man. You want that no good man to have gentleman tendencies, or you would have never left him, right?
That's
And
good.
and and you want to lust after what you want to lust at to have good man qualities. No, because what happens is women will not all, but a lot of women will say what they want and say what they're not going back to, and then 6 months later get pregnant by a dude that fits the qualifications of the bullcrap that you've been going through. Like literally, I saw that about 4 times in the past 2 or 3 months. Girls were talking
Dang.
about this and that and this and that and this and that, and then all of a sudden she's either pregnant by the no good type of dude that she been getting screwed over by, or she's at dinner and she shows the shoulder of a no good dude that she claims that she doesn't want anymore. It's all BS. Women have to stop doing that. If you don't want a good man, okay, that's cool. But you can't say, I mean, if you don't want to know good man, that's cool. But you can't say you want a good man. And when good men actually approach you, you're hardened, you're unhealed, and you think it's all a game. And you're like, well, he playing around with me. And then you're so traumatized by the bullcrap that you've been going through in your life, that you've allowed to go through in your life, that now when good men enter your life and it's no more, and it's not a lot of relevancy, and it's not a lot of drama that he's bringing, you're so traumatized that you think peace is boring.
And then you don't know how to act.
It,
CJ, what do you mean? I know Robbie shit crazy. What? Brazy. Oh, I don't know what that means. Um, Laughing my ass off. I would have been perfect on this topic right here. I think you would have. Keisha said the dude that used to send me that was married, living with another woman and trying to have me on the side. Wow. I told him that all he could do for me was sign over his payroll check. Girl, for real though. Because what you want? Keisha says, CJ, what WTF are you talking about, bro? Any of these words you're saying in the dictionary? Basically, okay. Okay.
But
Wow.
how do women get from that though? How do they get from, okay, I've been with this bad dude, right? I've been in this
You
really
have to
bad
heal.
relationship with this guy that really wasn't great for me. And now I want to move forward, but I have all this baggage
Stop
that,
dating and heal.
yeah.
that's
I
one
mean,
way.
take a time out.
And then when a
Stop
good guy
using no.
comes, like you said, when a good guy comes, it's like, oh no,
So
I'm
you
no,
heal.
yeah.
Bottom line, like after I got divorced, I literally went to therapy and I worked on myself because I knew I'd be no good for anybody. Because what would happen? I would project all my shit, stuff that I haven't even uncovered on myself, on somebody else. And that's not fair to that person. You just keep hurting people. And so I think people need to understand that it's okay to take a time out. I think a lot of reasons why a woman, especially if you get divorced in your 40s, you feel like, oh my gosh, I may get left. Or you feel like you're getting old or whatever, because that's more so with women. Because as men get older, it's just what it is. They get better. Okay. They get gray hair, what that's nice on them, but on us, it's not always nice. But anyway,
Chill.
no, but that's just the reality. I mean, you'll get better with age. Us, not so much.
Some of them get better with age. I've
A
seen some
lot
of
get
them.
better with age. Think about it. Think about those ugly dudes when they were young and skinny, and as they got older, they filled out, and now they yes,
Dang, what
Kim.
you calling me? You calling me old? You talking me ugly and skinny when I was younger or something?
No, I'm not saying
No,
that.
I'm just
I'm
messing with you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
You
Messing
are
with
so mean. Oh
But
gosh,
I
I got
think you're right though. I think that when you end a relationship, and I think this is so key, when you are in a relationship and when it's over, I think you do need to take time before you get back into the whole dating scene. Even if you have just you dated someone for 6 months and broke up, or 2 years, or you dated someone for 20, married for 20 years and you get divorced, you have to take that time for yourself. I have seen so many people, men and women, who, as soon as the relationship is over, they jump into another
you.
relationship
Another one.
so
they do,
fast. And it's like, wait a minute, didn't you just get divorced 6 months ago and they're already in a
yeah,
relationship?
and they
And
have
Or
not dealt
it's
with
like, give yourself
anything.
time. You have to give yourself time. But like you said,
Agreed.
it's fear of loneliness, fear of being left behind, all of that. And so they carry all that crap. They pick it all up, that
And
bag is shoulder
then
over their shoulder, and they carry it with them to the next
And
relationship.
then it gets worse if you have children because your children are watching your process, right?
yep,
Think
Yeah.
about that. Your
yep.
children are watching your process. They're watching you have a double mind, like your double mindedness. They're watching all these things and they take this on, and then the cycle is repeated.
It just
So,
keeps
mom was
going.
never without a man. Mom brought all these men around us. And so, your sons do the same thing. People don't think when they emotionally, like the emotions are involved, you're just looking to, soothe that wound temporarily. And it's like, just chill, take a time out.
Yeah, take a
Let me
time
read
out and
some
just take a
comments.
time out.
CJ says, LOL, take it from me. Everything Derek is saying, right? Because I was the bad boy. CJ, you look like a very responsible young man. What bad boy? Um, He says, Keisha, don't start with me. Start with him, Keisha. That's funny. Ben says, I agree. Take time to heal. Don't rush into another relationship. Yeah, it's the best thing because when you are ready, then you're really ready, right? There's
Yeah.
no residue. You're not thinking about your ex. When you see when your ex can still push you up to the point that you want to break his windows, girl, go sit down a little longer. Because
Yeah,
he
exactly.
could piss you off, but not to the point where you're thinking violence. At this point, you should not after 3 years. Well, that's what I think anyway. You just block his ass now anyway. So
Or
Yeah,
if
say
but
you're in
don't.
a relationship, or if you're in a relationship and the guy that you're dating now, maybe he did something that reminds you of what you had in that bad relationship. Like, oh man, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna cut him
but
loose because
see,
I ain't going through this again. And it's that whole emotional thing
but
that's
here's
going
the
on.
thing though. If you don't heal, everything looks like your ex, everything looks like a red flag, everybody looks like a narcissist, everybody
Wow.
because you know that label. No, every man's a narcissist now, right? Even if he doesn't want you, he tells you the truth. His ass is a narcissist. I'm so sick of that because
Yeah, but
everybody's not a narcissist just
yeah, but
because he doesn't.
also
Hmm.
also if you don't heal, what you start doing is looking for the same person in a different body. If you
I
don't
agree.
heal, if you don't heal from what broke you or what you allowed to break you, you just start looking for that same person just in a different body and a different tweaked version of that same person that you lusted after or loved after or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So um he said I'm hosting the CJ Keisha versus.
Yes, that would be so funny.
But you know
Lord.
the problem is that people don't know how to heal. They just literally walk around going, I'm healed or I'm doing a self-care activity. Okay, what is that self-care activity? Well, I'm getting my nails and toes done. You were getting your nails and toes done in the relationship that was breaking you.
Mhm.
So that's not necessarily healing. That's not what you're doing. People don't take the time to put in the work. They think that time is the healer. Time is not the healer of 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 what happened and you're hurt. It's not. Time is just the in between time of which something's going to happen again that you're probably going to react the same way. So if you reacted bad the last time you saw your boyfriend and 6 months later you ain't healed and you see your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend, guess what? You're going to react bad again if you haven't healed. So you have to put in the work. You have to find out a thing. Ask yourself questions like one question, one big therapeutic healing question is, what do you enjoy doing that doesn't involve another human or a pet, right? Because that's
He
all
said
about you.
that.
Yeah. Another human or pet, without naming a human or a pet, what do you enjoy doing? And I bet you if you ask 10 people that, all 10 of them would hesitate. They wouldn't know right off the cusp because everything, like if you ask a mother that, the one thing they're going to say is, well, I love spending time with my kids. I said no humans, no humans, right? So people don't know what pleases them. People are so healing and self-love has nothing to do with the husband you, the wife you,
Thank
the
you.
boyfriend you, the girlfriend you, the expectations you, the relevancy you, the work you, the school you. It ain't got nothing to do with that. You have to separate yourself from the mom or dad you. That ain't got nothing to do with self-love. You have to separate yourself from all of that and learn who you are on the inside
Yeah,
so your cup can be filled so you can help everybody
absolutely.
else around you. Or if you don't, you'll be living through the lenses of everybody else around you.
Mm. That's so
I
true.
think I thought everything you said was great except about time because I think time coupled with everything you said
It
can help
depends
you
what you do
heal.
with that
Yeah,
time, Kim.
it's time, not time by not, time plus work. So
Plus
faith
Yeah.
work.
with
Yes,
work.
you
Yeah,
have to
but
put
some
them
people don't
together.
even put in the work. They just say, "Well, I my last relationship was 6 months ago, so I'm healed." No, the hell you not,
Yeah.
because like you just said, Kim, you said that let's just say a good man comes along in a woman's life and the woman's not healed, and then the good man does something
Hmm.
that triggers the woman's mind going, oh, this blew up in my face the last time. Boo, 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 boo. And the good man isn't doing anything. She just got triggered because she's not healed. Well, now she's fixing to jack up a situation and sabotage the thing because
Right.
she ain't healed yet.
Yeah.
That's true. Guys, let me read some comments. Justin says, yes, sir, that's a fact. You have to be able to learn from your mistakes. Agreed. Now, this is the funniest comment, y'all. Keisha says, after my last relationship, I got healing when I got my lick back. I put their food good in the jaw. She says, I was wonderful immediately afterwards. Girl, I had to get, anyway, I had to get the kneecaps, but that's another story. Keisha is too funny.
No, you talking about kneecaps over there.
I'm just saying, if I was going to, but anyway,
You got me, Jack.
with something, I want to go back to the time thing you said, Ben. I'm saying Ben, Brian. And Kim, I want to address that. You hear people say, time heals all wounds. I've heard that a lot.
No, it
And
does
it's
not.
become such a true statement, but they spend their time doing nothing, not reading a self-help book, even if you're not going to therapy, not doing anything to work on not repeating their thing. And when relationships break up, what do people first do? They point their finger. Now, and I've said this a million times, there's always one in the relationship that's the bigger offender. Yes. But if we're honest with ourselves, we all contribute something. People are not ready or willing to admit that. Whether it's if the person's love language is quality time and you're a busy person and you don't make time for them, right? Just this is an example, right? That's your way of contributing to it, right? But we don't take that time to say, hey, wait a minute, what type of person was I in this relationship and how do I not repeat it in the next? So you're taking this time, but you ain't doing shit. And so you get it with another man, you do the same shit you did before, except like Brian was saying, different body, but you choose the same person. It just looks a little different. See, I noticed that when I was going through healing, before I came, I would say, before I was healed, men would approach me that were like my ex-husband. And I'm like, do I have a mark? Have I been branded? What the is this? But it was when I was healed that it shifted, completely shifted. Um, but people are lazy, and I say they're lazy because it's hard work. It's
Yeah,
work.
people want the microwave. They want things to snap
Yeah.
and it go through. And also people are inherently selfish. You heard me say that before. There are a lot of people who just want to say that they're healed, but they know they're not, so they can just find somebody to accept the traumas that they have that they're not willing to fix. There are a lot of people who say this statement, and I totally hate it, and it's mostly from women. Oh, I'm a lot to handle. I'm a handful. And that is one of the worst statements that you can say, in my opinion. If you're a single woman and you were like, well, a man got to be prepared for me because I'm a lot to handle. What the hell does that mean? Like, that is really a like bad statement in my opinion, because that translates to me, and it may have various translations, but that translates to me is that you got a whole bunch of BS that you're not willing to change and you want me to accept it. You know what I'm saying? That all these traumas that you just keep running from man to man to man to man to man, and it's always the man's fault. It ain't always the man's fault. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's the woman's fault who just keeps trying to find a man to accept her for her. But what is accepting her is accepting all her traumas that she's not willing to change, that she's not willing to heal from.
That's true. Do you know why people say I'm a woman, or even a man would say I'm a lot to handle? It's because they are trying to tell you up front that they fucked up, basically. Because sometimes you feel like either you too much or you're not enough. So if I tell you that I'm too much and you may not be able to handle me, then I'm telling you that I'm mediocre. And so if you want me, you can accept this or not. That's what I found. Because when I used to, and this is not about men, this is just about people, period. I would tell people, I would feel like I was too much because of the way my mind works, right? I ask questions and I ask uncomfortable questions, and people don't like uncomfortable questions. So I felt like I was too much. So what would I do? I would overshare. But then I learned through therapy to get comfortable with myself. And if I'm too much, that's fine, because the guy that I'm with will accept it and will love that about me. That I'm going to ask questions, and he will um, be too much in his own way, right? Because he'd be a mirror of me in a sense, or even different from me, or whatever. But my point is, I feel that people say that because they feel like they're not good enough. And that's how I felt. Because I felt like I had too much trauma in my life and I just would not measure up to anybody. But after therapy, you can't tell me shit. Let me read some comments. Ben says Brian always dropping nuggets. Yes, he is.
True.
Appreciate you, Ben.
I wish he would come in as a permanent host, but anyway. Keisha says time makes it worse. You'll be listening to trap music, having dangerous thoughts. Okay, now I'm a little confused. Derek out here give with Riz. What was Riz again? Truth. Okay. I know. Listen, I know what you're talking about, CJ. I'm confused. Justin said, "Say it, big bro." Some of them will not look in the mirror and fix themselves. A lot of them don't.
Mhm.
And I want to repeat this, guys. I'm not against women, okay? I am team make it make sense and team truth, okay? Because a lot
Pretty
of
much.
times I get messages like, oh, you act like you hate women. I don't hate women, but I know women are full of shit. So,
Yeah, but what your version of too much to handle is actually a valid one. Like if you're trying to ask questions, you're trying to get clarity, you're trying to communicate, comprehend things like that. There are a lot of people out there. We're just talking about women in this scenario. There are a lot of women out there that their too much to handle is relevancy. It's well relevant. I'm going to connect myself to status. I'm going to go to these bars and clubs, and I'm going to be in the social limelight, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And if you can't keep up with the pace of my life and what I want, and uh, 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 cash app your woman. If you're a good man, cash app your woman $500 for lunch today and a couple of gifts. That type of
mm,
too much to handle. It's all
right.
superficial. It's all BS. So
But see, I don't
that's
see nothing wrong with that. I think that's great that a woman tells you, hey, this is who I am. I'm too much to handle. I don't think that you'll be able to handle that. That's wonderful. You just let me know
yeah,
exactly who you are and what you are.
yeah,
So let me move on. But I think it's great. Yes, I want to know. I want to know that. I'd rather that woman tells you that instead of her going, oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Yeah. You know, I don't eat anything but salad for dinner. I mean, it's great that they are upfront and telling you the truth. I would more appreciate a woman who did that or a man who did that
true,
than
true,
Yeah.
hid themselves in
true.
lies and hid themselves as a charlatan.
Yeah. So then
And then
Right,
I find out what
you
six
know
months
how to
later, damn,
navigate.
you are nothing like you
right.
said you were. You're exactly the opposite.
Right.
You
But the
know?
deception is that person's all the deception is a lot of the times that person is always trying to just bounce from person to person with the traumas that they don't want to fix. So
I
they're thinking
agree. They
it's
get the
everybody
traumas
else's fault.
frustrating.
It's
Yeah,
everybody else's fault except theirs. And they're like, oh, well, let's just say in this scenario, woman's doing that. And that same woman will scream out, oh, well, there's no good men. Well,
yeah.
Cat Williams said something on one of his comic things that is one for the books. He said, if you're a woman always talking about there are no good men, you have to look inward and think about what you are, why you are always attracting these no good men. Like you got to think about that. And if all the dudes are the same, then you choosing them. You can't put the fault on the opposite sex every single time when everyone you pick it pretty much looks the same.
So Kim CJ has a question. He said, Kim, that can work both ways. Are you saying just let your intentions be known upfront before the conversation starts?
Yeah, if a girl's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Hey,
Uh,
man, you like Brian said, I'm too much to handle for you. She was up being up front, CJ. Let her be up front. You should like a woman like that. That's the kind of woman that you be like, maybe you don't want to date her, but you would respect that, I think.
I
Yeah, I'm gonna
think
burn out. I'm gonna burn out. I'm gonna be like, thank you, bye.
Yeah,
I think it's good. I think when you say everything up front, I don't think it's date number one. If you celibate on date number one, you're not gonna say you celibate. You want to see, even if you like. I've made a lot of mistakes. Let me just say that, okay? Because I thought a certain way. Um, you know within a few minutes if you're gonna see that person again. You already know. You have discernment. You already know this shit is not gonna work. Their values do not align with my values. Just from the way they're talking, you can tell. And we're at that age now where you know. I'm not saying you read minds, but you know somebody. Because a lot of times I'll see someone and I ask myself, can I see this person around my family or my children? And if I can't, it's not happening.
I'll tell you what, that comment that just showed up by Raider Kev, that's a good
Mhm.
one. That's a good comment.
Yeah. He said, I wasn't going to say anything, but any woman that tells me they have too much to handle, I'm calling BS. You don't know what I can handle. So how do you know it's too much?
Yeah.
And that's
So
a but honestly, that's a woman, that's a rejection statement when she says that anyway.
no, but
That's
that from another male perspective. So there's men out there that will go chunk the deuce and be like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you full of BS. I ain't trying to, that's a negative in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? There's dudes out there that'll say that. And then there are dudes out there that'll take it as a challenge or take it on as, hey, I'm gonna call you out on your bluff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna come get you and I'm gonna see what you're really talking about. And when that's how folks get hurt too. You know what I'm saying? But there are men that out there that'll be like, hey, I'm finna call your bluff. Shoot, what's up with it? And then that starts a whole chain of reactions from there.
I am so sick of CJ, but let me read this comment. That's why I said we have to teach our youth how to choose the right partner. Justin said that. And you're right, Justin. We
Yep.
should train our
You're right.
children on what to accept, what not to accept, especially our sons as well, though. Okay, because there are women out here slapping our boys and just anyway, that's another story. That's another topic. CJ say bet. So your logic is if I think the woman she's trying to talk to me and I know she ugly, should I just let her know straight up? You build like Shrek. Now, come on now. Come on now. I mean, come on now. You just been mean.
Yes, I'm gonna
No, you
say I
just
don't
say
think you
you're
should
not a
say
good fit.
that, but I think you should, let her down.
You're not gonna say that. You're gonna just say, you know what?
I'm
I
not
don't think
interested
our
at this
values align,
time.
and not at
Yeah.
this time. I don't think that we have much in something. But you're not gonna tell her she ugly. Come on now. She may think you ugly. I don't know. What do you think, Keisha? Let me start shit.
See, look at you, starting it.
I think it's hilarious because I want to see how this continues. So before we end, guys, okay, let me read this comment. Justin says, "Damn, the challenge. You have to go for the person that's going to help you with the most growth." I mean,
Mhm.
I guess, but yeah. So
No,
before
I
we
think he's talking about like when people take on the challenge of calling someone else out on their bluff. You know what I'm saying?
oh, I see.
Like Raider Kev said. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because I was trying to figure out the. So before we end, I have another question. So final question. I think, well, not more of a statement. I would take mixed signals as a no. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
I just assume it's a no. Like we're not moving forward because I don't do. First thing, I don't do hot and cold very well. I will mentally shift,
Yeah.
and we can be friends, but you're not gonna have me in a spin cycle, and you're not gonna create anxiety inside of me. Shit, I gotta work on my own shit, and then have an outside person do that. For me, I would say that's a no. What do you
Yeah.
think, Brian?
Yeah, if there's no clarity, then I'm not spinning my wheels in it. I'm asking for clarity, or we're gonna make clarity.
Mhm.
And if there's not, like you said, it's a no, because I'm not fixing to. I forgot who said it, and or a lot of people quote this, but it says a person persuaded against their will is of the same opinion still. So
Mm,
if there's mixed signals, and I'm trying to persuade you
No, they
to
don't want you.
my side, even if I get you to my side for a time being, then you're still of the same opinion before you started. I'm not in the business of persuading anybody or changing anybody's mind or anything, changing a person or who they are. No, 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 no. Let's get clarity on all this stuff straight off top. Let's be honest with each other. And then the clarity also lets, even if it's bullcrap, even if the person has something to say that's not, of the norm, it's just, it may be bad. Well, give me the chance to accept or reject it by telling me the truth. Don't give me mixed signals about it.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Let me read some comments. Kev says exactly, would you call too much in my mind maybe a challenge and attractive? True.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Justin says that's it. So I guess your explanation to what his comment.
Yeah.
CJ says, but see, that's a lie. If you're not interested in him or I'm not interested in her because she doesn't physically look up to my standards, so according to your logic, I should be able to tell the truth. CJ, see, how old are you again? The idea is not to be mean to people. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. You can be honest, but it's the words that you use. You're not going to tell somebody you build like Shrek. I mean, okay, what's objective? You just want to hurt people's feelings? I mean, seriously, you don't want to be mean. It's not the person hurt you that you want to be mean. You could just say, our values don't align, or maybe I'm not attracted to you, or something. But no, you have to use wisdom. So no one's gonna tell someone that. Well, maybe you. What?
Can we just go back to the fact that and I just want to do this just to be petty. The
Okay.
woman in this scenario was the ultimate bullshitter. Can
She was though. She was full of shit.
we,
But so
she,
was he. They both were. But she.
nah,
Okay.
she
You
had
have to
she had
separate for just a
she,
moment.
if this scenario, if I don't know if it's real or not, I don't know if it's a friend, but I'd love to catch up on this in about a year and see where this relationship is and see what happened. And I bet you money she got that trap game going. There's a trap she's setting, boy. She got that sucker.
Okay, hold on. So you saying she's gonna end up getting pregnant?
I ain't saying nothing. All I'm saying there's a trap forming. There's a trap for him and there's a ditch. You know what I'm saying? In the old song, the old gospel song says, if you dig one ditch, you better dig two because the trap you set just might be for you. I'm just saying. There's something up her sleeve that she's chunking out there.
I hope she's not doing that.
And you can tell right off in this scenario because I knew you was gonna go for the dude. You was ready to pop the dude in the mouth, and I was like, "Nah, this is that the dude may be BS. I'm not excusing nothing that this dude is doing, but this woman setting the trap."
No, but when you pointed that part out, I was like, okay. So I agree with you. And he's gonna go along with her because I mean they've
You
been
think
together
so?
for years.
I don't know. Oh, well, he may be using her. He may end up using her because
That's
he's
what I'm
not
saying.
changing. He's not changing his mind. He's not changing his mind on the marriage and the kids.
No,
So
he's not. But he was saying that maybe, like he's giving her kind of giving her hope, but he's giving.
yeah,
But you know what? He gave her hope after she talks about sex. You see that?
well, true. Yeah,
And you said something very profound that I thought about. Like now she opened up. Suddenly she opened up
yeah.
when she's on the verge of losing him. So she said, "Ooh, let me throw some coochie out
Let,
here
yeah, let me show some little cooch out here. Let me
and
throw a
see."
little
Ooh.
cat on a string and see if I can pull him in.
But those things are not lasting anyway. I mean, how many hours a day you gonna have sex anyway? Really?
Yeah, I mean, apparently they're drawing apart, and she's trying to glue them back together with her cooch.
Brian. Mm. Kim has stepped out. Kim, we're about to wrap it up, honey. Because next we have, I think it's Cigar Chronicles. And so, Brian, are you going to join us next week or are you? No.
I'm not sure. I'll let you know like on Monday or Tuesday.
All right. Well, guys, it has been pleasant. I enjoyed you, Brian. Thank you for always coming and saving us
There's
because we
Kim
need
again.
this. Yeah, Kim, we're about to just drop you, honey.
Sorry, guys.
Um,
Sorry, I had a phone call.
No, we appreciate your input and your wisdom. Even though you're such a young man, you have so much wisdom. Brian is almost 50. Yeah, I'm not talking nonsense. But anyway, no, I'm joking. Uh,
Hey,
no, I'm just kidding. No, but really, we appreciate you because you could have been doing anything else and you chose to spend some time with Kim and I. So thank you so much, guys.
appreciate y'all.
So, guys, we
Yes.
will see you next week. There may be a delay, guys. Don't make any noises as I. Bye, y'all.